Going on the topic of censorship in our country and people in power, I don't. This is not. I don't want to make this about Twitter, but everything's about Twitter right now. But I'm going to take it to more than just Twitter. Ian Miles Chung tweets, journalist, says, Yoel Roth, who no longer works at Twitter, he was there with the trust and safety team, basically the head moderator, along with Vijaya Gadde, claims, they're both gone now, claims that satire is dangerous. This is somebody with a PhD. Claims satire is dangerous and that libs of TikTok and the Babylon Bee are dangerous. Ian says, I'm glad he's gone. He was bad for Twitter. This rant right here that he went on, it gives you a little peek into the soul of the people who are rising into power, not just in Twitter, in our government, and eventually the Supreme Court and everywhere else in our country. Judges everywhere. How do you wonder, how does a judge rule to go default against AJ and say you're guilty, you can't even defend yourself? It's just a matter of how much you have to pay. How does that happen? We have judges who are like Yoel Roths. That's how it happens.
Okay, Babylon Bee, which is what got him to buy the thing, I think.
That's the
one which was not particularly funny. The Babylon Bee's Man of the Year is Rachel Levine. Not funny.
Yeah, and you can ask.
I didn't agree they should have taken that down, but go ahead.
It's interesting. It's interesting to think about what the competing tensions around that are. And
I don't know who this host is, but there's two. It's a fallacy. It's a. If they're going to be talking about like this, I do have to correct it. Elon Musk was buying shares before the Babylon Bee got banned. Now, I think that added motivation, but that wasn't the impetus for the banning that wasn't the impetus for him buying Twitter. But you notice she says, whoever the host is here, says very, very quietly, so it sounds like she believes in free speech in a way. She said, I don't think they should have been taken down for that. And her only thing is satire. I don't care if it was satire or not. They shouldn't have been taken down for it. But she says, I don't think they should have been taken down for that. And she almost has to be very shy about it. She didn't come out and say, say it with your chest. They shouldn't have been taken down for it. If you don't know, Babylon Bee had that post where they misgendered on purpose. I am not down for that because it's very similar to the Ye situation. I would never say what Ye said because I understand the cultural impact of it, regardless of if Ye was right or wrong or whatever. And I understand that there are Yoel Roths out there watching this video who, if you misgender them, they feel bad about it. So if you want to misgender, that's fine. I'm not going to because that's not where I want to take it. But that might not always be the case. But listen to how shy she is here.
The Babylon Bee's Man of the Year is Rachel Levine. Not funny.
Yeah, and you can ask.
I didn't agree they should have taken that down, but go ahead.
Why was she so soft there? She said, I didn't agree that they should take that down, but go ahead. And then now you're going to hear him rebuke it. This is Yoel on the right here, Yoel Roth, the former Twitter. He was involved with the Trump, in at least indirectly. Gotti was probably the final say as the lawyer, but he was on the email chains and all that came out about the laptop, about banning Trump. Well, there's no emails about the Trump stuff, but he was at Twitter when they banned. These are unconstitutional acts. Now listen to how unhinged this person is.
You can ask.
I didn't agree they should have taken that down, but go ahead.
It's interesting. It's interesting to think about what the competing tensions around that are. And I want to start by acknowledging that the targeting and the victimization of the trans community on Twitter is very real, very life-threatening, and extraordinarily serious. We have seen from a number of Twitter accounts, including libs of TikTok notably, that there are orchestrated campaigns that particularly are singling out a group that is already particularly vulnerable within society. And so, yeah, not only is it not funny, but it is dangerous, and it does contribute to an environment that makes people unsafe in the world.
So that's where he's calling it. He called the post from Babylon Bee dangerous. You look at the intensity here, and he's going to cuss soon. So just as a heads up, I might edit it. I don't know. But he's going to cut. He's got energy here. There's no doubt in my mind that he would want Libs of TikTok in jail. Matt Walsh in jail if he could. Damn the laws, damn the Constitution. It's dangerous, almost like it's literal physical violence. Look at him. He's triggered by even just having to defend this.
So let's start from a premise that it's fucked up. But then, again, let's look at what Twitter's written policies are. Twitter's written policies prohibit misgendering, full stop. And the Babylon Bee, in the name of
So what? Why is that?
satire, misgendered Admiral Rachel Levine. Twitter
Satire.
nominally, but it's still misgendering.
Okay.
And
So she pushed back. He said, "Oh, they misgendered her," and then they misgendered her, and then this woman here says satire. I don't even care if it's satire or not. I don't even know why that has to be the defense, but it is obviously satire. And he says nominally, so he has the powers to say, well, it's that much satire. It's like 5% satire, 90% or 95% mean spirited. He's basically deciding what the percent, that's what nominally means. He means like, oh, it's 1% satire, 99% intent.
Levine, Twitter
Satire.
nominally, but it's still misgendering.
Okay.
And there can be a very long and academic discussion of satire and sort of the lines there. Interestingly, Apple tried to tease out this question of satire and political commentary in their own guidelines, which I think are also fraught. But we landed on the side of enforcing our rules
Okay.
as written.
And that's how it got bought by Elon Musk, just in case you're interested. He was
Yeah. So then let's look at how this happened. I'm going to end with there's some information here on his dissertation. Thank you to Martine. I don't know how to pronounce that. David Crockett. Yoel Roth made an entire career out of intellectualizing his homosexual fetishes. This is not a joke. This is real right here. This is all real. This is his dissertation. It's all public. Even writing his PhD dissertation on his random Grindr encounters. My kids are playing with something upstairs, so I'll be wrapping up shortly. He then got put in charge of censoring hate speech on Twitter, a path to power and reality most GOP voters aren't aware of. Well, we better be aware of it now. I'm not GOP, but we better be aware of it. Let me read some of this stuff for you. And it's almost like a different language. I don't know if I'm going to read this whole thing, but this is from his dissertation. Yoel Roth, 2017. This is dead serious stuff here. This is not a parody. This is real. No fats, no femmes, no privacy. Digital Media Transformations in Human Communication, second edition. And that's his dissertation here. Racism, ageism, body shaming, and femophobia are common tropes in user profiles on gay-targeted social networking sites. The blog Douchebags of Grindr is dedicated to the task of chronicling this perceived misbehavior, posting screenshots of offensive profiles for public view and ridicule. Do websites like Douchebags of Grindr breach the expected socio-technical boundaries of gay social networking services, decontextualizing and resharing personal information without permission, or do they serve a critical role in organically refining the boundaries of acceptable conduct within online gay communities? This chapter examines how personal data flows across networked platforms, suggesting that flows of personal information like Douchebags of Grindr play a critical part in allowing users to negotiate standards of behavior in networked environments. While I stress the social role played by these vernacular user practices, I offer specific socio-technical solutions that may mitigate the reputational and privacy risks reached by Douchebags of Grindr. It's almost like a different language. It's almost like how many syllables do I put in? And notice it's all about control based on ideology. That's all it is. So he got his PhD from the University of Pennsylvania. The University of Pennsylvania promotes this ideology. They promote China as a benevolent country. I've gone through and done all the receipts. What does the University of Pennsylvania promote? This is the school that he got his PhD from. Promotes this ideology, the critical theory of gender and race. And they also talk about China. They say the U.S. basically should be more like China. Maria Repnikova writes about this. They promote University of Pennsylvania Communication School promotes her all the time. So what they do is now, what I think is China has found a path. Here's what I think I'm gonna talk about. China has found a path to infiltrate the United States. All that university stuff, they get funding directly from China for a lot of these studies and stuff. They found a path. Our country's been we've had a good run, almost 250 years. That's typically the lifespan of a country. We're falling apart. This isn't going to last forever. We just have to realize that. We see it falling apart. We see the scandal with Ponzi schemes that people don't talk about. We see the scandals now with the laptop and all that. Nobody cares. You don't see it on the mainstream media. It's really only a small group of people who are active on Twitter, whatever, who actually even care about that. So the country's falling apart. It's breaking apart. China knows that. They're trying to accelerate it through this critical race, critical gender, because they know people like Yoel Roth, that's what activates them to call Charlie Kirk a Yahtzee when he goes to a college campus.
They're so tolerant, as you can see.
That's what activates them to justify, making sure Trump doesn't win office. That's all the laptop was. That's all banning Trump was about, is banning him from political office. So they integrate that to our society through the universities, through media, through movies, through ESG, and they're accelerating our downfall. Mays has the final word on this. Actually, I apologize. It wasn't Mays. It was Martin that had the quote, says, "This was the guy who 10 years ago, GOP pundits were saying would get a taste of the real world and be shocked back to reality when he got out of college." Is that what happened? No. Back to the tweet. Instead, he banned the president from Twitter because he hated conservatives and white people. I'm not going to have this discussion without bringing up the solution again. I'm going to bring it up again because I want to make sure this might be the first time somebody stops by the channel. I have my proposed solution, and that is the national divorce. My solution is the Mason-Dixon line is this critical theory, and what it is who believes that the Constitution is more important than the religion of critical theory of gender, race, or whatever else. That half of the country makes its own country. The other half has to rewrite the Constitution and make their own Constitution. But the only reason I say that is I don't know if that's the best answer. We have seen what the problem is. The problem is this gender and race divide. It's clearly the dividing problem here. And if you have a better solution than a peaceful national divorce, I would like to hear from you. Let me know what you think. Take care.